$500 New Zealand dollar gaming PC? So in today's video, we'll be building a gaming PC on the budget of $500, 500 New Zealand dollars. So in this video, I'll show you what parts you can buy and what kind of FPS in games you should expect. So what parts did I choose? Personally, for the case, I chose this. This is the OMG Exia Max OMG case. It has a tempered glass side panel, and it is very cheap. I believe you can get this around about brand new $75, but I got it used for $50. For CPU, motherboard, and RAM, I got this used i5 4590, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a motherboard for around about $200 with a 1TB hard drive. So for storage, I recommend having at least a 128GB SSD and a 1TB hard drive. You can get away with 500 gigabytes, but I believe 1TB should be fine. I recommend 1TB as you can store your photos, you can store your videos, and you can store all your games. So for me personally, you can found in New Zealand, you can find a 1TB hard drive for about $20 to $30. And for an SSD, I got this brand new H-Flash SSD, which is Chinese, but I got it for $35. So in total, these two are around about $50. So you might have seen a trend in this video. Most of our parts is used. If you saw the last video, the 250 New Zealand dollar gaming PC, yes, the parts are used. Why used? When you buy used parts, you get better price for performance. And you know, imagine if you bought a computer for $1,000 that is new, and you bought a computer for $1,000 that is used. The used computer will have better price for performance as the used parts are cheaper while performing the same as new parts. So anyways, for power supply, I chose this cheap 80+ Aero Cool power supply. This power supply is 500 watts and it depends on what graphics card you use, but anything around about 500 watts, 80+ should be fine. You should never cheap out on your power supply, but you can find good used options for around $50. So you have most of your components. What about your graphics card? Currently, brand new graphics cards like the RTX 3000 series, the GTX 1650 series are out of our price range, as they range more around about $300 to a couple $1,000s. So on the used market, you can find something like a GTX 960, which is the one I have in my hands right here, paid used $200. But I've seen these for around about $150. So we have a pretty good case with a typical side glass panel, but what about RGB? Yes, I also have RGB. And for around about $50, you can get free RGB fans, an RGB LED strip, a controller, and a remote to control your RGB for around about $50, which I think is a steal. So without further ado, let's start building. So we've just built this PC, and I'd just like to have a few disclaimers. If you try this at home, I'm not responsible for any damage you cause to the components. I'm also not responsible if the components you buy are broken. And you might think, huh, broken? Because to get the price low, you need to buy used parts, and sometimes used parts are broken. It is a very rare and small percentage, but it could happen to you, and I'm not responsible for that. So, how does this thing perform in games? So to conclude, this gaming PC does pretty well when playing games at 1080p. And the GTX 960 with its 2GB VRAM is definitely lacking. So if you guys can find a 4GB version of this, it would be better, or even a 1050 Ti, which is very equivalent to this graphics card. So I pretty for 500 New Zealand dollars, this is a very good gaming PC. You can play most competitive esports games at 1080p at very good and very high frame rates. So the thing is that this computer, I couldn't really test it out much as I built it last night, as you saw, and now I'm selling it because Joseph Zhang flips PCs. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Comment down below what you think about this PC and what you think I should have done better, or any of your comments about this computer. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.